After a long and exhausted travel from the north, we arrived on a burnt land. An abandoned camp stood on our way. Some dry human skeletons here and there, and dead insects on the ground. A swarm attack? I can't even imagine a cloud of crickets of this size. Must be devastating. Anyway, we enjoy this shelter. Some rest at last. Moreover, skeletons are not the only leftovers of the crickets. A few weapons and a treasure, several big bags of salt. The council, led by Thomas, decided to trade this salt for a motorized vehicle. Rumors on the way said that a community will sell cars somewhere around here. A community selling cars? Some money left on the ground like a gift. The odds are on our side. Our team was set up in the morning. The butcher, Eddie, Mickey, Theo, and old Ben. They were sent to scout around to find out where car sellers could stand. Faint traces of tire were still visible on the ground, beginning at the camp and heading south. Maybe survivors of the swarm. After a few hours of walking through the ashes under the warmth of the sun, they stopped at a secure distance from a strange tree. Eddie was the scout of the band, so he got closer. His sling was armed with a polished stone. It looked like a wasp nest, big ones. If they happened to be spotted, they would die. Yet not even the slightest buzz. They stealthily bypassed the nest and kept on south. From time to time, green leaves and grass appeared among this landscape of ashes. Ashes penetrating their lungs, sun burning and still walking to nowhere. Not the slightest sign of a human being so far. Until they arrived near the remains of a road, they saw a dust cloud emerging from the low mountains beyond. Eddie took his binoculars and watched an unusual scene. "Hey guys," he said, "there's a bike rider that's chasing down some kind of small animal that is running down a hill." The dust cloud eventually disappeared behind another hill. There was no sign of the bike ride after that. They decided to have a break near the road. While some of the group were having a nap, Yuppie gave the alarm. According to Mickey, he has spotted something on the road up east. Oh, I forgot to mention that Yuppie was with them. It's Mickey's falcon, jumping from burnt tree to burnt tree, constantly on the lookout for any danger. They gathered their things and headed east onto the destroyed road. 3 corpses roughly cleaned of their flesh, and again some of those dead, horrible crickets scattered all around. Theo scavenged the wrecked vehicle while the butcher climbed on the cart to monitor the surroundings. Old Ben, apparently the only one not affected by the scene, looked for medicinal herbs nearby. Mickey and Eddie discovered footprints in the ashes that were heading northwest. They decided to leave the group to follow them. They quickly realized that those footprints led directly to the wasp nest they bypassed this morning. After inspecting carefully, they noticed wood steps nailed on the side of the trunk. They were leading to some kind of hatch cut directly in the wasp nest. After several calls, an old man finally came out of the nest. He used to live in this area before the chaos. He was a little child like many others in his village. He's the only one that survived. They brought him back to the camp this evening. He will eat with us tonight, as I understood. I'm so eager to hear about the stories he will share with us. I'd love him to tell us happy and funny stories of the old days. Stories that would make us forget that horrible night when the beast dragged Dominic away. Stories that would wipe out my nightmares, that wake me up with my heart pounding, always having to check around if no hairy legs are approaching to catch me.